The Fianna were a band of warriors, the greatest Ireland they had. It actually stretched to other countries as well, but in Ireland they were the cream of the crop. They were like special forces except better. To join the Fianna was no easy task, because when you joined the Fianna, they became your family. The first thing they looked for was character, a good character, which a lot of people these days don't have. The second thing they looked for was intelligence. You couldn't be stupid. These lads wanted the smartest of the smart. And not just in one aspect, across the board. They had to learn 12 books of poetry and have it memorised off by heart. When it came to the physical aspects, one of the challenges, and the first challenge you had to do, was you had to run through a forest without making a sound. Not one sound could you make. You couldn't even break a dried leaf in half, right? That's why they were explained to me before, like Ireland's ninjas. Except better, of course, because they're Irish, right? Another one they had to do was, they had to run back through the forest with a thorn in the foot at full speed, but the catch was they had to get the thorn out of their foot while running through the forest. So can you imagine them there on one leg going like a bloody yo-yo, up your boy, yeah, and they're trying to pull the thorn out, right? The next, what else? Charlie's going to actually explain to you the other two aspects, because they didn't discriminate back then. They had women warriors as well. Few, but they had them. So, Shirley, what's up?
One of the most famous female Fianna warriors was Alba, Cuchulain's lover. Now, she wasn't the only one, and these ladies had to do the same task as the men. And another two of those were, you had to jump over a branch just as tall as yourself without touching it, and you had to slide under a branch lower than your knee without touching it either. I don't know about you, but that's pretty tricky.
Right, Fianna was the last leader of the Fianna. Now, there is a story where Fianna's wife dies, so the Fianna went and got him another bride and a daughter of a high king. Now, when you were part of the Fianna, when you took a woman on, you got no, what's the thing called?
No dowry.
No dowry. So you took the woman as for her, no other reason. But when she came, they were having a party, and she seen that Fianna was actually older than her father.
Yeah, like Sean Connery old.
Right? So she was kind of like, no, this doesn't suit me. So a variation story goes where she actually put a sedative in their drinks and all fell asleep. And she went to Dermot. Now, Dermot was a loyal friend of Fianna and a great warrior. And she started floating her eyes and doing the whole lot to try to seduce him. Now, it did work, because he described, he said he'd run away with her. Now, the thing is, Dermot had links to the two of the Danny, who was kind of like the protege, and they gave him a magical power where he was super attractive, like really attractive.
Like Brad Pitt. Brad
Pitt, yeah. Well, I shouldn't be saying Brad, I know, he's attractive to men, but Shirley says Brad Pitt. So they ran off together, and of course, Fianna decided to go after him. He wanted his wife back. He was after being betrayed, not just by a member of the Fianna, but also his best friend, like. So he went after him. Now, a couple of variations of the story as mythology goes and stuff like that, but he didn't catch him, right? But at one stage, there's a story where they're sitting by a stream and she was washing herself or bathing herself with her clothes on. And what happened, Shirley?
Well, she's trying to seduce him at this stage. She's still trying to seduce him. So what she does is she hikes up her dress a little bit and she starts splashing some water on her legs, as you do. And she looks at him and she told him that the water was more adventurous than he was. And of course that made him a bit annoyed and jealous of the water, probably.
Yeah. Like there's so many stories that I could tell you about just Dermot or Fianna and like, but that's it, what the little bit I told you in a nutshell. I'll probably go into it more again, but that's really it. So if you like your stories and our stuff, hit that follow button, drop us follow, or we could use a catchphrase called follow me, I'm delicious. Yeah, that's just copying someone else. Do you know what? If you like our stuff, give us an old follow, will you? And we'll build up the page and we'll talk a bit more about the myths. Everything. You name it, we'll give it a go. If you have any ideas for it, give us a shout. That's it. Thanks for listening to me ramble. And we may head on before the fairies come.